I blow my nose, everybody's eyes are gonna bleed. Are they bleeding? Alrighty. I've got to log into the mainframe. Do it on my typing bullshittery. Alright. It is 6:47. Let me adjust this camera. Save up to $46 on YouTube TV. Never. I refuse. All right. Pop out, chat. Man. So, a while back, I changed a bunch of different things. One of the things I changed was this little filing cabinet underneath my desk. I put legs on it instead of wheels because it always rolls. But then I went back and I put the wheels back on because then it wouldn't fit under my other table. So it's back to wheels and it just slid open like a ghost is in here with me. I just saw that the description, BAZZLEDOR TOFFINGTON, or how Eli got his groove back. I just saw how that appeared on YouTube. I like that a lot. I'm not going to close that. Fuck it. I don't need to close it. Hello, my sweets. It's been so long. I did not have a good day yesterday, so I did not stream. I had a lot of intentions to. So instead, we're going to be doing that today. But I'm going to be working on the castle. I'm going to be working on the castle today, I believe. More than anything, though, I think we're going to be working on getting podcast material. And then I will work on the castle. Between the castle, podcast material, and Caveat Emptor, which I am beyond excited about. Man, I was going to say, I can, get my tablet so you guys don't have to listen to the paper, but I know you're actually only here for the ASMR. You're sick, all of you. I'm just kidding. So to explain to everyone what this is, because I have felt the need to play this game, and I finally put forth the effort to get everything that I need, which is not much. It's like a deck of cards. I needed a deck of cards, but fuck, I don't keep playing cards on me because a lot of people have introduced me to a lot of varieties of playing card games, and I fucking hate every single one and would rather stare at paint dry. Personally, I don't like card games, like playing card games. Now, like card games, yeah, like Magic's dope as fuck. Pretty much, I just don't like playing cards. And that's that. I realize that I'm in the minority here. Yesterday, I'm having a bad day, kind of doing my own thing, trying to get my stuff on track. And I did do I made a lot of progress. I put in a whole new circuit, wiring wise. And then I fixed the one that I have been needing to fix for a hot minute. Also, in the event that anyone saw it, I had this goofball out of his box. Hello there. That's all Ronald Reagan. And I was thinking about puppets and things like that, and it just got me thinking about, man, I still haven't done anything with that Ronald Reagan action figure. I'm going to say this is a doll. This is a Ronald Reagan doll, because I feel like he really wouldn't like that, and I don't fucking like Ronald Reagan. But I feel like he needs to be able to say things like, "It's my fault. Age is still here." Stuff like that, you know. Just facts. So, one of the things that I was going to talk about today was BAZZLEDOR TOFFINGTON, or how Eli got his groove back. So yesterday, and I don't know, I mean, there might be a moral here. I don't think there is, though. It was more of just, I'm having a bad day, and I'm really, really, really down. And I'm trying to get out of that. And while I'm doing that, this random idea is beamed from the sky spirits into my brain. Or from the center of the earth spirits, whichever spirits you believe are beaming me my wonderful ideas. But I've been needing to play Caveat Emptor for a very long time. Caveat Emptor, essentially, that's Latin. It means, from my knowledge, it means buyer beware. But you play as a demon that has been sent from hell as a final chance of redemption, or you get like utterly annihilated. Yeah, okay. So I'll just read you this little thing. The year is 1541. You are an assistant demon selling secretly cursed items to humans in Wittenberg, Germany. Greet new customers as they enter. Offer them an item from your inventory that seems too good to be true. Secretly twist it with a curse and close the deal. Avoid suspicion that you are a demon. Maximize sales before your manager returns. Avoid annihilation. And the moment that I found out about this game, I laughed really, really, really hard, like very giddily. Did a little bit of my, ooh, that's fun. Because that's so good. And that's one of my absolute all-time favorite tropes. It's like the cousin of a Cheshire Cat, maybe a sibling. It's one of the two, but, as a Cheshire Cat-esque entity myself, I often am very, very much drawn to these kinds of characters because they are absolutely wonderful. Papa, hello, my sweet possum. We're talking about little silly demons that want to sell you things. I need to look further and further into how to play this game. And that is pretty much what I'm kind of doing this morning. And I'm just so excited. I just can't stop thinking about being BAZZLEDOR TOFFINGTON. Hello, it's me, BAZZLEDOR TOFFINGTON. That's how he talks, and this just was blasted into my mind yesterday, wasn't it? I thought you were talking about that new Netflix movie Anna is obsessed with. Wait, is there a new show called BAZZLEDOR TOFFINGTON on Netflix? If there is, I'm going to be very fucking upset, and I'm not going to be as like, BAZZLEDOR TOFFINGTON. No, haha. Okay, good. That's good. Okay, so a couple things popped into my head when I'm like, okay, this is so. Mephistopheles is K-pop demon. Oh, K-pop Demon Hunters. Yeah. Okay. Is it good? Like Kelly and I saw that, and so I love K-pop. I love K-pop, and I love J-pop. I love pop. And I can't stress enough, like, my love of pop transcends language. Like, I don't care what they're saying. I just want it to sound so catchy. Like, that's what I'm here for. When you're talking about Cheshire Cat-like things, they have a silly demon cat. Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, I love Cheshire Cats. I don't know. I have often found a kinship with that character. Not often, like from childhood. That was I watched that VHS tape until it stopped working, kind of thing. Like, I fucked up the tape watching it so much as a kid. Like, I watched Alice in Wonderland so much. Clearly had a lot of impacts on my brain. So, wait, what is this? King Midas wished that everything he touched would turn to gold, but was rendered unable to eat or drink. Dr. Faustus signed a contract with Mephistopheles to gain power for 24 years, but bargained away his soul. Mr. White and W.W. Jacobs, the monkey's paw, simply wished for 200 pounds. Sorry, euros. Oh, wait, no, that's pounds, I think. Which he received as compensation when his son was killed in an accident. Based on Jacob's short story, the term monkey's paw has come to mean many situation where a person has their hope or desire filled, but they are forced to pay a significant and painful cost. And that's not my kind of K-pop, but it was a good movie. Oh, it's a movie. I thought it was a show for some reason, but yeah, that's pounds. Okay. I thought so. I was like, I'm pretty sure that's pounds. Yeah, so I wanted to play with the idea of the monkey's paw and caveat emptor by reversing the roles. Rather than playing as the character who is tricked into paying the price, you play as the one crafting the sinister trap. The fun is in offering unsuspecting customers powerful items, ensuring that only later do they realize their terrible mistakes. I became obsessed with this the moment that I found out what it was, and then yesterday when I was just kind of in my own head trying to get good, in my head. I just was really, really in my head all day yesterday. All of a sudden, bam, BAZZLEDOR TOFFINGTON was blasted into my brain. And it was just like, okay, sometimes life gives you a sign that you need to be doing other things. And I was like, you know what? I'm beating myself up about stuff. I need to think, what kind of good could I put into the world right now? Especially what kind of good could I put into the world right now if the year was 1541 and I was an assistant demon selling secretly cursed items to humans in Wittenberg, Germany. And I thought to myself, you could do a lot of good. And the best good that you could do would be as if you were BAZZLEDOR TOFFINGTON. And I also thought that, man, okay, I don't know how this works. So I'm going to have to figure out, we're going to give these people, if they don't have some kind of like perception, there's got to be something. Because the whole thing is about, I'm supposed to sell them things and trick them into taking them and like no one suspects that I'm a demon. So I was thinking to myself, I was like, okay, BAZZLEDOR TOFFINGTON. That's the name. Done. That's perfect. And I also was thinking, this was very quickly the second thing that came with BAZZLEDOR TOFFINGTON. And it probably is because I have just watched that or not watched, but I listened to the episode of Hive Scum where they were bitching about Harry Potter, because I don't care for Harry Potter. But let me rephrase that. I'm not going to say anything negative about a fan base. J.K. Rowling's a piece of fucking shit. I'll take a very firm stance on that. Fuck J.K. Rowling. She's a disgusting human being. Anywho, with that said, BAZZLEDOR TOFFINGTON. I started to think to myself, it's 1541, baby. You're in Wittenberg, Germany. Reach into your mind's eye and tell me, what does BAZZLEDOR TOFFINGTON look like? And I'm like, okay, BAZZLEDOR TOFFINGTON. BAZZLEDOR TOFFINGTON. Well, he's Cockney. He's got a Cockney accent because he needs to be just mysterious enough, but just believable enough. And I do think in 1541 Germany, Wittenberg, Germany, there might have been one or two gypsies, pikeys crossing through at some point. And they probably would have been very foreign and very mysterious. And they probably would have had wonderful things to sell. If they just set up a shop, then hey, all the better. And I thought to myself, well, that sounds great. That sounds believable right there. I believe it. It's 1541. People were pretty damn stupid in 1541. So the next thing was, okay, what's my name? BAZZLEDOR TOFFINGTON. I couldn't stop thinking about the part. Phil in Hive Scum, I love Phil so much, but he was ranting about how fucking stupid the whole I am Lord Voldemort, like when he rearranges his letters. And I was just thinking, knowing who I am, before I go back to hell to be annihilated, because that's absolutely going to happen, I want to be like, oh yeah, well you think you guys are so smart, you didn't even know my fucking name, and then like I would rearrange the letters. But I would want BAZZLEDOR TOFFINGTON to like rearrange, and like when it rearranges the letters don't stay the same. They just change, and it just says, I'm King fucking Piss It and I. And I thought that was very funny. So I laughed really hard about that to myself. And then of course the next step on BAZZLEDOR TOFFINGTON's realization was his visuals. What does he look like? And I very quickly came to, I know you get a couple chances. I'm going to go all out on my first chance when we start doing this. And I'm just going to say, I want people to think I'm a talking cat. I'm just thinking, if I was a demon, 1541, and I'm trying to sell people stuff, it's rough because witches, like people, they're very certain that witches are fucking real in 1541 Germany. That's for goddamn sure. And that is bad. But I don't know. I feel like if I walked into a store and I saw Margot or I saw Theodore and they were like, hello, hello, I'm BAZZLEDOR TOFFINGTON, I'd be like, all right, I'm in. That's a magic cat. He's here to grant me wishes. Clearly. So that's kind of where I am with it. I don't know. I feel like it would put me a little more, I would be a little more apt to take an item from a store that seemed very suspicious if the owner was a talking cat. They'll probably think it's magic. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, yeah, that seems pretty magical. Talking cats. Also, I just want to be a cat. We'll call it like it is. Okay, so safety. I always like these. As a solo game, caveat emptor is intended to be played alone if you're struggling with feelings of loneliness. But the demon doesn't really know what a cat looks like and has just seen him in the crazy ways. Okay, awesome, good. Okay, I'm glad that you got it. That's the key. That was a key part of the bit, is that, like, any picture of a cat from that time period. That was yes. Okay, you get it. I very much wanted it to be like, oh yeah, he's a cat. And it's just like, have you ever seen a cat? Because I've seen a lot of medieval drawings of cats. And it seems like they were pretty fucking all over the place. They all were very man-like, man features, either like in their face or their anatomy. They sometimes walked on 4 legs, sometimes on 2, often had a face like a man, sometimes even had fingers. I absolutely love medieval cat paintings. They're so good. What you need to play is about an hour time, a quiet place free from distractions, some paper or a notebook and something to write on, 3 6-sided dice. I can find those. Standard deck of playing cards with jokers removed. I have already got those. But the demon doesn't really know. He doesn't even know. They don't even know what a cat looks like. They've just been seeing all these BAZZLEDOR TOFFINGTONs walking around. BAZZLEDOR TOFFINGTON is the original medieval cat. Okay. Remember, the goal here is to have fun. We're going to have fun. A new customer arrives. It's the game overview. The customer arrives, an offer, an item for sale. I twist the item with the curse. Check for suspicion. Check for suspicion. And then record the transaction. So 3 rules. There are 3 rules when working in this store. Adherence to promises. The item must deliver the benefit precisely as described. A working item establishes trust, making the human more likely to use the item. Fulfillment of the promise should be based on strict definitions, ensuring that while the benefit is real, it is accompanied by grave consequences. This kind of reminds me a lot of an item that I came up with from Merkborg. Except it's not like that at all. Now I'm thinking about it. This was, you got to play in an actual ledger. Oh man, I didn't think about that. I did print out the little ledger, but yeah, an actual, make my own. I'll make my own ledger, make my own demon ledger. I'm already getting weird enough into it. I had something else that I was going to show. Oh yeah. I'm getting a green morph suit in the mail today. So I've talked a lot of shit about, hey, it's coming, all the stuff, but like we're there, babies. It's we're about to start cranking out some fun vids, some fun content. I'm really excited. It has these old schools, I think Italian or French ledgers. That's cool. That is cool. I went yesterday because I had to get my cards, and I was looking at, I ran through the school supplies aisle real quick, and I was like, a ledger. But yeah, conceal consequences. The item must be cursed in a way that is subtle, insidious, and not readily apparent. That's not the same way. I was gonna say it's kind of like an item I made from Merkborg, which was a spore, and I want to say that it was actually, it might have even just been called the Grumbot, Grumbot, which is another way of spelling and pronouncing Margot. A lot of people don't know that. It's pronounced Jumbo. Jumbo is how you would pronounce it, but it's spelled Grumbot, which is, yeah. Margot's got a lot of lore. Anywho, Jumbo. The Jumbo is, it was based on Margot spores, where I said that, you know, I've said often that you have to deal with Margot spores because if you don't, they grow into whole Margos, and there can only be one. You don't want another one. The item for Merkborg was called the Grumbo, but it appears as a small little tuft, and if you pick it up and you put it in your bag, over time it slowly makes its way from wherever you put it into your ears, and it just, you kind of constantly hear something being like, "Ah," out in the distance, and you're just like, what? Do you guys hear that? And then eventually just drives you completely insane. Makes you like deafen yourself. So yeah, that was the Grumbo. It's not a really cute, and it doesn't give you any powers. So it's actually nothing like any of these. Because especially when we get to irresistible temptation, the item must seduce the human, exploiting their deepest desires, fears, and weaknesses. What I came up with was just a bad thing. It doesn't have anything good about it other than, well, it's kind of small and fluffy. But that's not what we need here. The item must be so strong that the human is compelled to use it, disregarding any risk or suspicions. This ensures that the item will continue to be used even after the consequences become apparent, maximizing suffering. How to play. Gather your deck of cards, jokers, removes, notebook, dice, and tokens. What kind of tokens do I need? Shit, it probably said that. What the piss? What kind of tokens? 3 tokens of any sort. Oh, okay. I've got a phone, a coin, and a punch out. Spades and clubs. I've not shuffled these. I have to shuffle them. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to grab my little printouts. Oh no, people, it's the 11th beast. It's coming. You gotta stop it. That's another excellent press game that I have been really wanting to play is the 11th beast. So that one will be after here. But man, I'm really pumped about this game. I just want to be a demon who sells things so bad, and also if I can look like a kitty, that would be better. It would just make more sense. Everything would just make more sense. Okay, man, there's probably a lot of stuff that I need to know here, but I'm going to sort these cards. I'm not a big shuffler, if you can imagine, as someone who does not like card games. Now, I like tarot a lot. Which is funny because, I mean, that's what tarot kind of is. The history of everything is so fucked. But to my knowledge, I don't believe that tarot was ever used for actually anything other than fun, like game. I think the actual mysticism of tarot readings and stuff was added long after, if I am remembering correctly, because I know that the cards, I believe technically this is the French suite, like a playing cards, the clubs, the spades, hearts, and diamonds. That is a French suite, if I am not mistaken. And the swords, cups, pentacles, and wands is, man, I'm not going to remember. I've looked it up before because I was trying to learn. I have so many cards from playing Warhammer as long as I have. When, we were like, oh, hey, I'm going to get these data cards so I can play my game and it'll go smoother. Doing that, you end up with a lot of cards that in like a year, 2 years, are just absolutely cannot be used for anything again. So I have a lot of quality playing cards that I need to repaint and put new things on. So that was why I have not gone and bought my own playing cards in such a hot minute. And now I'm going to do the thing that everybody hates. I'm going to bin these cards. But I'm going to do it really, really bad. So yeah. was I trying to say, Eli? You were talking about making cards. Oh, I was talking about making cards because I really, really, really like game aids, especially for like miniature gaming. Miniature gaming is, and any RPGs. I just think that game aids of any kind. One, I like if they can blend gameplay and like the vibe. Adeptus Titanicus, I thought did a good job at that. It used these trackers, which were a whole nother issue because throughout the game they had different throughout the game's life, which I think it's dead at this point. I don't know. I can't imagine it's not, but it uses these terminal cards that you move. It contains like essentially all of its damage and its movement and its tracker, all the information for each thing on one sheet. But you have little, as opposed to erasing with a pen and paper, you move little tokens. And I did like that. However, if you got a less finicky and I guess anal is just the word. If you have like a less anal friend that you're playing with who maybe bumps into stuff more often, that can be a problem. Whereas, you bump into the table, it doesn't erase what you wrote with a pencil. If it does, we're living in two different realities and we need to figure out how to cross them. I need to know your secrets. Okay. I'm excited about this. I feel like I don't shuffle well enough. But at the same time, I don't know, This seems right. I probably could have done it better. All right. Let's just try this thing out. Gather your deck of cards, trick was removed. Separate the cards into two face-down decks. I did that. Wait a minute. I didn't. Okay, this is this is item deck. And this is customer deck. Customer deck. Item deck. Okay. So we've got those. Shuffle each deck separately. Place them within reach. Do not combine the decks. Place one token on the bottom. 3d6. I don't have any dice. I'll be right back. I'll get some dice. Beep, beep, beep. This will be really quick. What a time I need. Hey, bugbear. Door. Just a baby bugbear. He does whatever he wants. Yeah, baby. Come on. Okay, well, in hindsight, going over there in the dark was pretty stupid. But I found some dice. Man, I gotta tell you. Shit, let's see. It has been almost 20 years ago. 20 years ago, I played with a dude in Chicago, and you accidentally lost one of your dice. I'm not going to say that I took it, because I did not intentionally take it. But I have found this dice in my dice box. And it doesn't match my dice, so I put it in this bag of dice. I think I also maybe have... I think Shane is the other very refined gentleman who uses bone dice. I think we might have swapped bones, bro. Because like I think one of my bone dice does not match the other bone dice, but it's still just close enough. I'm like, I feel like someone out there's got one of my bones, and I've got one of their bones. We got bones to pick with each other. But I'm hilarious. Oh my goodness. Okay. Learn the customer's name, background, and desire via the customer list. Who is the customer? What motivated them to enter the shop? what they desire more than anything else in the world. Is there anything they wouldn't do or a line they will refuse to cross? How can they be manipulated? I am so excited. I'm so excited. This is going to be a fun thing. Okay. Offer an item for sale. Draw 3 item cards from the top item deck. Choose 1 or 3 items to offer. Okay, so twist the item with the curse. Check for suspicion. So we're going to run through here. Close the shop. Performance appraisal. Okay, so now this is curses. So, a customer. Draw a customer from the top of the customer deck. That's this one over here. Also, yeah, I printed these out. I'm going to put them into some tabs, like some slicky sheets, because hot damn, this is getting a little bit much. But did I print out? I did print out 2 of that. Huh, fun. Okay, customer list. Wait, what? List of potential human customers. The bounty is still out. Whoever figures out what that is, you let me know. I will show my appreciation. That sounds weird. I don't know how. Nothing creepy or inappropriate. Oh, I'll make you a gift. It will be creepy. It won't. It might be inappropriate. It will be a good gift. You'll like it. 9. The 9 of diamonds, isn't it? Oh, hello. Let me see who has walked into my store. Let's see. 9 of diamonds. Well, that would be old Adelind Wire. The great grandmother of my dear friends, the Wire brothers. Adelind. Adelind. Adelind Wire. Her desire is to be the greatest poet in the world, isn't it? A gifted poet, but not one gifted with superior skill. Her poems are appreciated, but never celebrated, isn't they? Okay, so she's a poet. Customer. Adelind Wire. I have chicken skin, like just chicken. I was going to say chicken shit handwriting. I like that kind of better than chicken scratch. I have chicken shit handwriting. Adelind Wire. I briefly, I worked with somebody, and their kid's name. I worked with someone whose daughter's name was Coraline, which was really cool. But someone had a kid. Fuck. It's the Good Witch. It's the Good Witch. I'm back. Yay, possum. I'm trying to remember the name of. It's not Auntie Whispers. It's Adelaide. Adelaide. Yeah, it's Adelaide. Adelaide. To Adelaide. To Adelaide. Okay, well, possum. My first customer that has come in is Adelind. 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 Adelind Wire. Wire. So I did not expect to be my very first customer to be one of the Wire's long lost relatives. So I'm excited to see what we do from here. So we draw a customer from the top of the customer deck. We did that. We learned the background. We learned their desires. Use this information. Now we're going to manipulate her into getting something. Draw 3 item cards from the top of the item deck. That is this deck. And we have the Queen of Spades. That's a club. The Queen of Clubs. The 7 of Spades. And a 6 of Clubs. A boo boo boo. BAZZLEDOR TOFFINGTON. You silly son of a bitch. Okay. Shop list. feel like this is kind of actually broken up in a way that I would like it to be. That's good. That's customer list. Okay. So that's the customer list. We're going to have to separate these things out the way that I separate most books, like a crazy person. Oh, hey. Well, this is suspicious. Day 1 of the example shop ledger entries. Adeline Dwyer came to the shop looking for old books and writing utensils. In her heart she desires... I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm doing. Adeline Dwyer came to the shop looking for old books and writing utensils, didn't she? In her heart she desires to be the greatest poet in the world. Successful sale of Apollo's pen and quill, curse type 3, pedantic. The quill will allow her to write the most beautiful poems in the world. She'll be the world's greatest poet, as desired, but no one will ever know. Her poems will go unnoticed despite her best efforts, as she will languish in obscurity. 8 VP. Is that victory points? Vexation points, probably? Isn't it? Okay, well, now I know how that's supposed to handle. This is page 21. What the hell page is this? 26. Eli, you're doing it. You're fucking up. You're going to get these all mixed up. You're never going to figure out which way they go in again. And then you're going to get annihilated. I'm going to get fired. Okay. Ba-da-down. So, what do we have from our list of items? I can only imagine. Hopefully this sound is not just fucking death itself. But, I mean, it could be. Alright, we got a 7 of spades. An alchemical book provides knowledge of powerful elixirs and potions. That's fun. Stone ring grants invisibility for a short period of time. I don't think I have anything to work with there. The stone ring seems pretty hard sell for someone who wants to be a poet. The alchemical book provides knowledge of powerful elixirs and potions. That one, I mean, that might help her. I don't know. Let's see. What's the Queen of Clubs? Okay. Well, the pouch of gold coins doubles the amount of coins placed in the bag. That's pretty good. I might keep that one for myself. Okay, so choose one of the 3 items to offer the customer. Okay, so I pick one of these to offer to the customer. The other one, out of the 2 that don't get picked, one of them goes to the top of the deck and one of them goes to the bottom of the deck. So one of them is just going to like be nothing. So the stone ring, which is essentially like the 1 ring of power. So I don't understand. So you put the ring on and you turn invisible for a little bit of time. Is it like a set amount of time? Like I'm like, and now I'm invisible, and then like I'm invisible again. Like if the 1 ring only had like a 5 minutes, like, so does he have to like reload it? Like, I like that. That's fun. Okay. So yeah, stone ring sucks. We're not giving that. I'm Adam, Greg, Eric. I would never offer one of your forebears a cursed item so shitty. I would never. They're either going to get the pouch of gold coins, or honestly, I'm going to say it's going to be the alchemical book, because this is actually I'm going to put biology into the wire bloodline. That's what I'm actually doing here. So the pouch of coins stays. I need the wires to exist, and I feel like this lady does not actually want to be a poet. She wants to do something that involves putting the love of biology into the wire bloodline, so that my friends the wires can be born. I'm gonna make sure that time happens. That's what I'll do. I'm saying all of this out loud as a cat in a pikey accent. Provides knowledge of powerful elixirs and potions. Okay. Just thinking. Okay. Choose one of the items. So she's getting the book. She's getting the book. Return the other two items. I did that. Use the item list to learn the properties of your selected item. I did that. What is the history of this item? Who owned it last? Oh, how do you persuade the customer to buy the item? How does the power of the item fulfill their desires, hopes, and wishes? Will the item help them to accomplish their goals and get what they want? Twist the item with a curse. Consider the customer, the desires, and the item. Choose a curse type and design a curse for the item. A curse twists an item of wonder into something horrible. Make it nasty and insidious. But remember, your curse must fulfill the requirements of the 3 rules. Failure to follow the 3 rules will result in immediate annihilation. How does the curse work? How does the item still work as promised? Did you make the curse subtle and insidious? How does it tempt the human to continue using it even when they realize it's cursed? Will the curse spread suspicion? It should. All those things should be yes. Or I don't feel like I'm doing a good job as a demon. Item power. That's fun. Okay, does it not? Do I not have a list of the curses? I might not. Maybe that's all on me. I like that. I feel like it is. Use falling to the column B. Combine them and select random power. Always indicates, yeah. So, okay, I think I have to come up with a curse. Okay. That's fun. What would be a funny curse? Check for suspicion. Okay. Close the shop. Oh, I'm dumb. I might have gone the wrong way. No, I didn't. I just don't know what I'm doing. Hey, here's the curses. Learn the types of curses and use them well. Ha! I get to choose curse type. Okay. Man. It's almost like I've got too many pieces of paper over here. All right. The item works as promised. Curse type 1, degree. The item works as promised, but to an extent far more or far less than expected. It is this excessive effect that leads to the negative consequence. The type of curses often result in the item's power becoming overwhelming, uncontrollable, and unmanageable. Example, a mask allows the user to assume the identity of another person. That's great. But the identity is so strong that it eventually makes the user forget their original true identity. Yeah, that's definitely a good one. Curse type 2. The item works as promised, but using it comes at a terrible cost. Each use of the item results in a negative consequence to either the user or another innocent party. The cost is usually underestimated by the user until it is too late to turn back. Example, a cloak the user allows the user to hide in the shadows, but each use turns them a little more into a shadow themselves. Eventually, they lose connection to the physical world. That's good. That's a fun one. So degree works as promised, but to an extent far more or far less than expected. Item works as promised, but using it comes at a terrible cost. Pedantic. This item works as promised, but in a way that adheres strictly to the literal wording of technicalities of the promise. So these are my favorites, typically, because I love good wordplay. And shit, there's a whole nother term for it. Not typography, but annihilation. It's also, it has to deal with the delivery, spacing, timing of speech, of writing, of words. I love all of that and playing in that space. And it's personally, I find that more and more fulfilling the more and more our language becomes just the gutter mush that it is. And I mean that not like English. I mean that as in human language. Like we are getting very, very much to the point that it is, we're really having some issues here because we are at a point in like human evolution where there are so many things that we do not have adequate words to describe, that it causes more issues than anything else. It's communication. Yeah, so those are always my favorite. The item works as promised, but in a way that adheres strictly to the literal wording or technicalities of the promise. Pedantic curses exploit loopholes, ambiguities, and narrow interpretations of the item benefits. Example, a hat grants temporary invincibility. As part of the curse, the item works only when the user is completely still. Any movement, no matter how slight, immediately breaks the effect. The promise is upheld, but the devil is in the details. That's really good. That's always fun. So, I have Adeland Wide. Adeline Dwyer, and she wants to be a poet. Well, I have a book. This book will show you how to make blank. What could she use that book for? She wants to be the best poet in the world. And I feel like you could probably drink a potion. I'm going to say cost. The item works, but it comes with a terrible cost. Maybe I'll give her a book that contains potions or elixirs that'll make her the greatest poet in the world. But I'm thinking it needs to be like, this book contains all the secrets to whatever elixirs and potions to make her the greatest poet in the world. However, it needs to ruin her somehow. I was going to say she could go blind. I'll go blind over time. The more you read of the book, the less words you know. That'd be kind of fun. That's a pedantic, I feel like. No, that would be a degree, or maybe I feel like that's pedantic. You need to find a way to say it. The idea of every elixir that you write, any words that are used in the elixir are now lost from your vocabulary, but it does give you a greater power as a writer. But eventually you would just run out of words. I kind of like that. I'm going to have to think of a very, very clever way to say that. Man, I got to get better at being a demon. All right, well, I've thought about it. So we're going to go say each day begins with all tokens on the lowest spot of the track, 3d6. I didn't roll for that. Each day begins with all tokens on the lowest track, 3d6. After each use of a curse type, move the token up one spot. Example 3d6, 2d6. Okay. And then I've got my 3 little tokens here. A Wago nut. My 3 tokens, of course. The punch out for a handy box, a grounding nut. It's a grounding screw, and then a Wago self-locking lever lock. Those are going to be my 3 tokens, as they would, of course, for anyone else playing. Those are the typical go-to tokens that everyone uses. We all know. I had a bunch of dice. Could use those. Okay. Each day begins with all the tokens on the low spot of the curse tracker. So I gave her that, and I'm going to say, I want it to be pedantic. I want there to be something really silly about how whatever rules, there needs to be something in the words, and I would have to come up with that. So I've done that part. From here, use the item list. Consider the customer, their desires in the item. Choose a curse type and design a curse theme. How does the curse work? It will make her the greatest poet in the world, but all the words that are used in each of the potions are lost from her vocabulary to her. Eventually, she won't have any words left to say. Good morning, Gardener Seekins. No worries. Glad to have you here. I am looking through Caveat Emptor, and I am currently in the process of trying to sell an alchemical book that provides knowledge of powerful elixirs and potions to Adeline Dwyer, who may or may not be a long-lost descendant of the Dwyers. Initially, I thought, I'm gonna make sure that the Dwyers come into existence. I need this lady to be really all about biology. But I'm gonna be honest. I think I fucked this up, and I think this clearly can't be one of the Dwyer's descendants, because this is probably where this trail on the family tree ends, thanks to me. What if the words from the book disappear and she has to spend all her time rewriting the book to keep being able to make the potion needed to be the book? That's a great. Okay, there you go. Done. We're done. Possum. Done. Thank you. Bam. That's it. The words from the book disappear and she has to spend all of her time rewriting the book to keep being able to make the potions needed to be the best poet. That's awesome. Hell yeah. And I'm assuming that absolutely Yeah, no, this is great. This is great. Wonderful possum. Mwah. Very good. Very good. Gather and rolled. Okay, check for suspicion. Okay, each day, after each use of a curse, move the token up one spot. So I did that. Check for suspicion. Gather and roll dice as indicated by the token of the curse check. Page 35 that you choose. Maximum dice 3d6. If any of the dice are 5 or 6, the sale succeeds, and you hit the curse. Okay, it's a 1 and a 2. Now it did hit. I'm going to roll them just because it did hit that dice. Or it did hit that token. One of these is a 5 and a 2. So that's tops. Perfect allegory for practice. I'm 5. I'm having it. I'm having it. If you any of the dice are 5 or 6, the sale succeeds and you hit the curse. The town's suspicion does not increase. Gain vexation points equal to the difference of the values of the customer and item cards used for the sale. Court cards, i.e. Jack, Queen, and King, and Aces have a value of 1. What? Okay. The town's suspicion does not arise. I sold her the alchemical book. You goofball. Curse and transaction notes. All. Yes, all the words. Disappear. After potion is made. Making the owner use all their time rewriting the book. That's wonderful. You get the gold star. Vexation. So, the lady is Adeline Wire. Adeline Wire's card was 9. And this is a 7, so 2, right? Ace of values 1, equal to the difference of the values of the customer and item card used for the sale. So that's 2, 7, 8, 9, 2 vexation points. All right, that's fun. That is very, very good. Otherwise, the sale fails and suspicion increases, causing you to lose potential customers. Discard 4 additional cards from the customer deck. You do not gain any VP. Humans are easily corrupted, but they are good at recognizing patterns. Using the same curse type repeatedly will increase the chances of arousing suspicion. Move the selected curse type token to the up 1 space on the track after each use. Oh. I think I have to... Okay, after each use of a curse. So I put the curse on there. So I need to roll 3d6, and I'm rolling these not near there, so we're going to see... Hey, there's a 6. Okay, I got a 4, a 2, and a 6. So it did work. So I get my 2 points. Oh, no! And with that, it's coffee time, my sweets. But I will pick up from here. We will get further into this caveat emptor. We'll emptor this caveat. Don't you worry about that. The final version of that book will be written in the most beautiful metaphors inscrutable to anyone who would read it. Yes, I assume. It's just crazy. Just the scribblings of a mad woman. But yeah, no, I'm really excited about this. This is going to be a very fun little space to play in. I'm going to work on this and getting stuff set up for this, I really kind of want to add more RP into it. And I really want, I guess the suspicion, I kind of want to have her do any kind of perception. I need her to know that I'm a cat and be upset by it, but also be like, well, he's magical. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'll work on this. We're going to be doing some podcast stuff today. I will try to be in the Discord, keeping you guys up to speed, but thank you all so much for your time. It means the world to me. Have a good day. Remember, if you're feeling down, flip that smile upside down. It's way harder than, way harder said than, or way easier said than done. But, do your best. I'm proud of you. Have a good day, my sweets. Sit pretty. Take care. I will catch you guys later. Thank you again. Thank you. Bye, guys.